Rugby Sense! What's really good, everybody? My name is Gifttime and Bailu, and this is Rugby Sense, where we translate last week's news into this week's sense. I'm here with the magnificent #1 Spring Hill rugby player star, Ryan Flynn. Ryan, what's really good, man?
Not much. I wouldn't know about star, man, but I'll take magnificent for the ladies. I'm doing all right, man. Just another week, another day at the office. So what's the good word, brother?
Dude, you know, we're Halloween season, so it's about the scariness. Do you feel it in the air?
Spooky.
It's about to get spooky. It's Halloween and horror week. Get spooky, then get. So I mean, look, that's life, man, dude. How did your weekend go, man?
Well, we had a nice match with the boys from UAB. Great match, great guys. Really hard hitting game, so really enjoyed that. It was parents' weekend down here, so unfortunately my folks couldn't come in, but I saw all my buddies' families, got to meet them at a nice cookout, so good weekend. Played a little golf too, which was awesome.
Well, it's good. You know, you didn't get to see your parents, but you slowly got to be an old rich dude for a little bit.
Exactly. How about yourself?
Man, you know, it was a chill weekend. I needed to let my body prep going into Halloween, so, you know, I kind of rested it out. Watch some good Rugby World Cup, some things that we get to talk about today, and, you know, we'll see how it goes from there. All right?
Sounds good.
Awesome, dude. Let's kick it off, get these people started. Scores from around the nation. Dude, we had a bunch of great games this weekend, and it looked, I mean, looking at the scores, I was wholly impressed with what was going on. Let's start off with you, dude. What were some of the scores that got you excited this weekend?
Well, I mean, I saw some major blowouts this weekend. Harvard laying the hammer with Penn in women's rugby, 132-5. More women's rugby. Boston College taking care of Rhode Island, 50-15. Transferring over to men's, all Big Ten here. Michigan taking out the Hawkeyes, 78-14. And then you had Indiana, my boys, taking down Michigan State, the Spartans, 64-3. So just monsters.
Dude, that's awesome. Look, I mean, you know, that Indiana score. Did you get a chance to talk to your boys over there a little bit? You know, see some of your people and be like, hey, what's it feel like to just be that monstrous?
They, you know, they were like, it's not easy being the best, but we try our best.
Keep it humble. They got to keep it humble.
Exactly. They just said, I mean, they've just been so hot in the Big Ten, just dominating teams. I guess they've had some good size, too, which has really helped them out.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm very interested to see how Indiana ends up going into this fall break, because it's next year. Whenever it's in the spring, whenever it's gonna all come together. So, you know, hopefully they keep their rankings up. I mean, right now I think they're currently top 10, top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So get that shit together. All right. So for me, mine were less so on the big scores and more so on the hard winning games. I had Air Force, my first one, D1A men's, Air Force defeating Colorado. Air Force with the upset defeating Colorado 22-20. Close physical match. Apparently, it was mental mistakes that took Colorado down. So you know that these two teams hopefully will get a chance to face each other again, because they had it a perfect turf in Glendale, everything like that. Next up, I'm probably going to mention them again, but you know what? I got to show some serious love. Florida International University defeating Florida State 27-0. Clinching the South Independent Rugby Conference playoff spot 2 games early. So, you know, that's awesome, especially considering they have UCF in that field. And UCF just isn't killing it. So it looks like FIU really is trying to take over that next role. Next up, I had Clemson over Maryland. This one was a blowout. Clemson showing out again. Clemson winning 30-8 always. Like, these guys are ridiculous. I swear they're only just getting ready for the Varsity Cup, because they're just blowing through this Atlantic Coastal Rugby League.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I thought when they lost Hickey, I thought they'd fall off a little bit, but not in the least bit. They've just been rolling on the trail, which has been fantastic.
That's what you know what the difference between a good team and a good program? You don't need to have the people who started your program to be there to continue it on, and that's clearly what's happening.
That's fair, yeah.
So Going into women's D1, I had to give a little bit of props. Texas over Texas Tech, 44-41, remaining perfect in the season. Not really often spoke of too much, but out of the Southwest Women's Conference, got to give prop to the Rockin' Horns. So, cheers to them. And then lastly, I had Central Washington over BYU. Talk a little bit more on them later, but these are two D1 elite teams going in. Central Washington, once again, and I've said it every week, and I'll say it again. They are the top 5 team, and it's them, Lindenwood, Life, and everybody else is kind of stuck behind there.
I agree.
Oh, and Penn State, of course. Penn State.
Yeah, of course.
And so, guys, here's some more scores that you guys can check out. Let's get into some Rugby World Cup talk. Australia versus New Zealand. Dude, did you get a chance to catch any of the games this weekend?
A little bit, because the time difference kind of set us off, and with the game Saturday, so couldn't catch too much. But what I could I was super impressed. A little sad to see it's coming to an end, because how often you get to see such top level rugby all the time,
right,
play continuously. But New Zealand was, did their thing, man. They are the All Blacks for a reason. Australia too, but I'm super excited because this new rivalry is just reignited now. Australia defeated New Zealand over the summer, so they want a piece of them again. This is going to be a heck of a match. It's probably one of the best rivalries, not only in the sport of rugby, but in just sports in general. It's gonna. I'm pumped.
Dude, I agree with you. Bledsoe Cup repeat, dude. I've seen the memes where we were just talking about it before the show. The memes of it was the Rugby Championships, and then now it's the Bledsoe Cup. So it was World Cup, then Rugby Championships, and now it's the Bledsoe Cup. Like you said, it's a great rivalry that's being built up. You got to love this cross the ocean battle. But I have to give a lot of props to South Africa because that was anybody's game right there. Mm-hmm. New Zealand, honestly, is a more experienced team. And all the controversy that South Africa had coming into this Rugby World Cup when it came to their selection process, then moved into what happened against Japan, where everybody was calling for the coach's head. And that was just game number 1. And then all of a sudden you see the rally back. This is a young team. There's a lot of experience that's left to be built on that South African team. And then to go in against New Zealand and literally take it to the wire. That was such an intense game. It was probably it was like a perfect culmination of what this Rugby World Cup has been so far. Mm-hmm. Just everything that you needed to be. Just right there in your face, just fucking it was amazing. It was a great game. I'm a little sad when it came to the Australia versus Argentina match. I really was hoping for Argentina to take this one. I wanted to have a true underdog. Say what?
I said that would have been awesome.
It would have been. It would have been. It would have been a true underdog that was in it. But, I got to give credit to Australia because, dude, it almost felt like right off the bat, right at the beginning of the game, you knew what was about to happen because Australia intercepted a pass from Argentina like within the first minute. And it was all over. Argentina did their best to try and come back in it. Ended up losing the game 29-15, but Australia really wanted it, and they really want their second shot at New Zealand. See if they can beat them, and it looks like it's going to be the battle for who's going to have the most Rugby World Cups titles under their name. So who's going to be the best? Who's going to be the first to win three Rugby World Cups overall, or for New Zealand being the first to win back-to-back Rugby World Cups, something that hasn't been done in the 8 Rugby World Cups that have existed.
So it's pretty cool. History will be in the making come Saturday.
Oh yeah, hell fucking yeah. Dude, so who do you think is gonna win? You think it's all New Zealand all day, or what's?
Like what you said with South Africa, them taking it to them. I think Australia is going to sneak away with this one. Now, I shouldn't say sneak away, but it's going to be a tight game. But I think Australia is going to come out the gate ready to go, and I know New Zealand's going to be, with a chip on their shoulder how it went down in the semis, but I think Australia has this one, man. I'm excited.
Dude, I got to add even one little tweaker. It looks like there was a little bit of controversy from that New Zealand-South Africa game. And this is how you know technology has changed nowadays, because there's a concern that Richie McCaw might not be a part of the New Zealand Rugby World Cup finals because of a possible illegal elbow that he gave during the game. And you want to know how they fucking found this shit?
Video after the game.
Video? No. Fan found it, sent it to the commissioner, and put it out there. Technology 2015.
What a dick.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's how you know. That's how you know technology changes, because the fans are now able to be like, look, I can do the job of the refs. FTMO.
The fact that guy probably has so much free time on his hands.
No doubt.
So much free time.
This is the most dangerous. This is like the most dangerous precedent for armchair fan observations, armchair quarterbacking, whatever you want to call it. Because crap, like I would hate for that to happen in any other sport where you think you're good and all of a sudden a stupid, overly committed fan wants to go in and rat you out.
Nerd.
Go get your life, nerd. Oh man, but my prediction, I think New Zealand has this one. Like you said, I think it's going to be a close game, but I think New Zealand wants a little more. I think they're a little bit older, and I think they just wanted just enough, because I think a lot of people are leaving. Obviously, aging of Dan Carter and Richie McCaw retiring definitely after this year. So we'll see what happens, man. All right. So moving on from that, it kind of stemmed out from the Rugby World Cup. Story came out last week about Todd Clever. I think most of us know it, but if you don't, Todd Clever got dismissed from the Rugby World Cup team earlier this summer, and there wasn't really a lot of talk. It seemed like there was just disciplinary issues that happened with Todd that was just a little bit over, but there was a story that came out from my boy Tom Crosby out of who runs DeepSouthRugby.net. And he put out the story on Todd Clever's side, and it was intense. It sounds like there's a lot of discourse behind the scenes for USA Rugby, and it definitely doesn't help coming off of such a poor output for the team during the Rugby World Cup. I mean, what was your thoughts on it?
I mean, it was just heartbreaking. I mean, he's an icon for USA Rugby, probably one of the greats to ever put on the USA jersey. And to see, if that is actually how he was treated, I mean, it seems like they're kind of out to get him, because he didn't get along with the coach, which is just awful, which is just sad news. A lot of people are starting to come at USA Rugby like, why aren't we developing in this sport? Like, we can't watch it on TV at all. And now this comes out, it's not looking good for the organization. And like you said, after the World Cup performance, it's not looking good for the organization. I think kind of what we can hope for, moving forward, is that he's overseas doing his thing right now. They kind of just make amends because they clearly need him back. I mean, they didn't do so hot without him. So hopefully they make amends, come back. But just poor. If that story is fully credible, which I believe it is, USA Rugby needs to make some changes.
I mean, I have to say the same thing. I mean, I guess it was one of those things where I kind of pulled out from different sides on it, where I understood from Todd Clever's side a lot of the disrespect, especially with Mike Tolkien, and I guess it seems like it's this general kind of dictator kind of concept that he was trying to at least perceive what was going on. But and it seems like there's a little bit of saltiness among the coaching staff with at least Todd. But on the flip side, some of the things that Todd was saying kind of threw me off. Like, he was talking about, whenever he wants to stop practice, he's doing it for the team. And it's like, for me, I was just like, dude, why is a player stopping practice? Like, I know you're a captain, I know you're an icon, but you're still a player. Like, it's still on the coaches to do it. And then a little bit of explanation on some of the stuff that he was talking about. Like, one of the big issues that they said was a dismissal because he missed training, and then he explained that during the their off break when he went to the ESPYs, that he wasn't able to get back in time because they added a new jog schedule later on, and then talking about he didn't understand why he needed to go work out and have drinks with the team coaches whenever they had just fired him essentially from being on the team, or at least not making the roster for RWC. So it was really, really weird. But I guess, like you said, a lot of people have been talking about, USA Rugby needs to step up their development, and it's interesting because I mean it's I don't know if USA Rugby's starting to paint themselves into a corner, because it seems like there's been a lot of things. It started off with the NRFL, and you heard so much after everything stopped this summer with the NRFL's attempts, even though we could put a lot of blame on the NRFL, cool. But then you get this story, and then you see the results from it. You saw how kind of blasé the USA players played sometimes, lacking that little bit of leadership. I mean, it just seems like it's just piling and piling, and I'm trying to interested where this eruption's gonna end up going, because it's just like, dude, we're about to have a volcano. We have a chance to move to the next level, but I don't think we have a legitimate plan. Like, I will say, through and through and through, digital media is going to save rugby. Stop thinking in a traditional media way. Holy fuck. If you can stop doing that, you will understand. It's just old boy thoughts. And I listen to so many people who have said stuff, and I'm just like, dude, you guys are missing a very quintessential point. The people who keep saying we need to make more competitions or move to the Super League or anything like that, fail to realize that we have terrible marketing. And even added into that, we have terrible marketers who are making the suggestions, who suck at marketing. Like, I think literally the only good marketing team that I've ever seen for USA Rugby in totality for a sport has been the USA Sevens. That's World Sports. You know what I'm talking about. The people who make USA Sevens and CRCs and everything like that. And really, they got a really good deal because they caught USA Rugby at a bad time. But now that, I don't know, if NBC's not catching it in as much, I don't know, but it's people have not promoted it. Like, you need to promote everything instead of just simplistic competitions,
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Yeah, I mean, not making the World Cup that available in the U.S., that was kind of awful.
That was weird. That was really.
That wasn't. I mean, NBC Sports had some, but you didn't really see a lot of. I mean, I feel like I didn't see, and I follow a ton of rugby pages and whatnot via social media that like promoting like, hey, like check out USA Rugby here on USA Rugby TV for the World Cup. I mean, I understand there's like streaming rights and all that stuff. I mean, so that's kind of a bad example, but just kind of promoting it, like giving like where it's getting streamed at. Like, here's this website, come watch.
Right.
So I don't know. I just feel like they're not hyping it up enough. They're not getting people. What marketing is getting people motivated to do what you want them to do, and they're not marketing USA Rugby to get people to back behind the team.
Yeah, dude, and that's it. I mean, I know everybody's got efforts. They're trying to do their thing, but it's just such a collaborative effort. But dude, we got to really understand how to take this old school nature and bring this new school one and kind of bring it together, because right now it's not working well overall. But I also think that people are a little bit impatient. Like, I understand why, but I also have to I need people to understand. You guys fucked it up. Let's just straight up. You guys fucked it up. The old boys who are crying about it, you fucked it up. Say it out loud. It's your fault. 40 years of this has been going on. It's your fault. It's not necessarily USA Rugby's by themselves. It's yours. So, I just need to be honest. It's people always want to blame USA Rugby, and they have a right to, because USA Rugby kind of semi-monopolizes it. And I'm not going to say too much more after this, but it's old boy fault with your attempt to make it this club atmosphere purely almost. Then your weak, there's attempts, but it was a weak attempts at the youth league until you had something to really motivate it. Even though you tried to do some Super League stuff, some semi-professional within it, there was not a real good collaborative effort on making it credible because you didn't feel like people believed you. There was no confidence in the sport in itself. And I think the other thing that annoys me now is just the fact that now people are like, dude, we need to get back to this wholesome goodness, blah, 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 blah stuff. Look, that's all well and good, but this is sports. We need shit talking. We need fan bases to go against fan bases so that they have something to ride on. That's all I'm saying. Like, work it. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully we get a Mike Tolkien side of this story because that would be nice.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We got Women's D1 Elite. Dude, BYU, Central Washington, New Mexico, UC Berkeley, Life University, Lindenwood, Penn State, Indiana. Top women's teams. It looks like they're trying to finally get it together. It looks like they started a little bit. Dude, your thoughts?
I think it's about time because if you look at sometimes the scores, like Penn State's blowing out teams by 60, Indiana's blowing out teams, Lindenwood, Life, they're blowing out teams by 40 and 50. I mean, I think 100 points sometimes. So it's kind of not fair that their records are just getting boosted by these easy games. And I think it's really going to boost the competition as well. I mean, especially those last four you said, Life, Lindenwood, Penn State, Indiana. I'd really like to see them go at it, maybe once or twice a season. And I think it's really going to help competition development-wise. And I think we're going to see some records change from 4-1 to maybe 2-2 now because they're playing much higher competition.
No, I agree. And that's the same thing here. I expect them to really be able to actually press their talent a little bit more. My only beef with this is now I'm wondering what happens with these other divisions. What? There's Elite D1, then you have D1, then you have D2, and then you have D3, but then you have some other sub-factions. What are we going to do? How do you can't keep minimalizing it without adjusting for everything else. There's talks about the fall season is now in crisis with Accra. We'll put a story there to explain it because I don't really fully understand it myself. But it's just there's so much stuff with it. But at least we can have a streamlined elite competition for the women because I mean they got to get something out of it. Like it's not fair. Like last year's national championship. For Penn State, it was like 60 to like a single digit. Like, it was disgusting.
Insane.
It was disgusting. And as much as I like that for regular season games, I don't want that for my national championship. I want to see a good national championship. It takes it edge. Let my heart pound. I'm an LSU fan. I'm used to getting my heart in heart attack mode at the last second because games are tight unnecessarily, but still tight. So hopefully it does lift for that. But I do want to see Life, Lindenwood, Penn State, Indiana. Those are the ones I really do want to see. And Central Washington. BYU, New Mexico, UC Berkeley. I feel like they're going to be kind of a toss-up. I don't know if they're really elite level yet. But they'll do all right, I guess. All right, moving on. Question of the day. All right. Question of the week. The question of the week. The question of the week. The question of the week. It's the question of the week. Oh yeah. Alright. So the question of the day is if you can pick any monster, scary, whatever beast, what monster would you put on your Fantasy Rugby 15's team? That's including a coach as well. A monster coach. All right.
So, oh wow, this is good stuff. So 1 through 15. 1, we have the Loch Ness Monster. At 2, I have an Ogre. 3, Cyclops. 4, Frankenstein. 5, Mummy. 6, Zombie. 7, Bigfoot. 8, a Troll. He may be small, but he's packing the power. 9, a Goblin. 10, a Dragon. That neck, he's just gonna fling it out there. 11, Dracula. 12, a Werewolf. 13, the Grim Reaper. 14, a Ghost. 15, a Mutant. And I don't know if you would technically call this guy a monster as the coach, but Dr. Jekyll.
I know. No. He is a monster. Jekyll Hyde, that is legitimately a monster. So kudos on that one.
Okay.
I do have to ask you on you had the goblin. You had a goblin at your number 12, right?
No, I had a werewolf at 12.
You had a werewolf. Where did you have the goblin?
9.
9. Oh, okay. Never mind. That made sense. Because I thought you had your gobbling at number 12 or 13. I was like, seems a little small. Yeah.
Getting eaten up all day.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So for me, my starting 15, I had at number 1, I had an ogre. You had to get that nice big ass ogre. All right. I had at number 2, I had a minotaur. At number 3, I had one of those big bridge trolls. You know, not a small little one, a good bridge troll.
Okay, yeah.
At number 4, I had a golem because you know what? I need that rock hard hit coming from the locks. At number 5, I had Michael Myers because for some reason this dude doesn't go down. Like,
just doesn't die.
He doesn't die, so I assume he can push some forwards. And when you have a golem there, I guess you don't really have to do that much work with it. At number 6, I had one of the zombies from 28 Days. The ones that had that super speed that doesn't make sense, but they're super fast. They're almost as fast as the Resident Evil zombies, but, you know, scarier. At number 7, I had the Xenomorph, which is from Alien, you know, the Queen, freaking whole head thing and everything like that. If they can't get to the ball, if they can't get to the fly half, they can at least spit some acid and mess with somebody's life.
Just ruin someone's day.
Ruin someone's day, you know. At number 8, I had Predator. At number 9, I had Freddy Krueger, and I know you would think it's odd because of the fingers, but I feel like he can get down inside those rucks and really just flick it out there.
Yeah, and slice some Achilles while he's down there.
I'm telling you, right? He's the guy who scrapes people underneath the ruck. He's my Richard Nixon. At number 10, I had Heath Ledger's Joker. I didn't know whether to put him as a monster or not, but he scared the shit out of me the first time I ever saw him on the Dark Knight, and I feel like he'd be the perfect number 10. So you know what? Eff it, he works. At number 11, I had the vampires from Underworld. I don't really care which ones, just any of the vampires. At number 12, I had a demon. At number 13, I had a Reaper, which is take your soul, people. At number 14, I had a werewolf. And then at number 15, I had the scariest clown, pure clown, at Pennywise from It. So, you know, using those long legs and manipulation, I feel like he can cover my backfield at fullback. It's pretty well. Take care of business there. That's all I say.
It sounds good to me. I'd actually like to see this game played.
I really do. I'd really like to see it. Like, I feel like all the field would be dead because just so much life being taken out of it.
Oh, but, hands down.
Right. But it's all good. It's all good. All right, man. Moving on quickly. All right. We're going to go to the game predictions for this week. Let's start off. Let's look back at what we did for last week. For me, last week's lots, I had Florida International over Florida State. Won that one. FIU winning that in a shutout, 27-0. Talked about that earlier. For my next one was Kutztown over Army. And Kutztown took that one, 39-26. Got that lock correct, obviously. For my women, had Army women over Norwich. Army took that one, 47-6. Slamming that one. And then this one, I don't know if it was wrong or right, but they didn't do what I wanted them to do, and it was Atlanta Harlequins over the DC Fury, and they tied at 0-0. Don't know how that's possible in rugby, but
women, about a game.
Yeah, I don't know, but I have to consider that as wrong because F the Women's Premier League on that one. Not really. I actually like you guys, but F you guys for not letting me win that one. And then my upset picks for last week, I had University of Georgia over Tennessee. I was super wrong about that one. Tennessee proved that they are beast modes and won that one 32-10. And then I had Old Blue over New York. Old Blue of New York over Mystic River for the American Rugby Premier League. And thank you, Old Blue, for getting that one. Winning that game in a close one, 24-20. Dude, so all in all, what? 1, 2, 3, 4. I went 4-2 this week.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, not me. Not me. My lock for the men, I had LA Tech over Tulane. Tulane took home the victory 20-5. I had Mississippi State over Auburn. Auburn comes up out of nowhere and drops the ball 70-14.
Dude,
no clue where that came from.
No clue where that came from. What the heck happened on that? That was okay. A win was surprising, but 70 points.
I was not. I mean, I guess Auburn finally got it together towards the end of the season.
Better late than never, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And then my upset, I had Columbia over Harvard, and Harvard won 27-22.
Oh,
so not a good day for your boy.
No.
So over on the women's side, I did get this one right. I had Lindenwood over the St. Louis Sabres. Lindenwood took home the victory 36-0.
Easy.
I had Princeton over Brown. Wrong. Brown won at 29-0. And then Indiana, my upset. They're not going to be my underdogs anymore because they're killers now. They were over Ohio State 75-12.
Nice.
So, yeah, not bad.
Oh, yeah. See, wow. Yeah, no, they can't be underdogs anymore. That whole Indiana program, men and women, they own it. They absolutely own it. All right, man. So let's look into our locks for this week.
Cool.
Go.
What I got for the men's side, out of the Big Ten, I got Michigan over Illinois. Sorry, Danny Lyons over in Illinois, buddy, but it has to happen. And then
Gotta make it personal.
And then I got Bama over Mississippi State. I think Mississippi State's going to try to get after it after being embarrassed, but if you're going to lose that bad to Auburn, no way you're beating the Tide.
Yeah, no way. The Tide is coming in too strong. I think they're locked for the SCRC
Easily.
West. Easy. They won. I think they won. They locked it last week anyways.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then upset, Ivy League taking on Lindenwood. Dartmouth, I'm going to try to say Dartmouth over Lindenwood. They've been doing all right, and I think it's about time the Lions dropped a game. Heading over to the women's, my lock, I got Davenport over Kent State. They're Davenport women, I'm pretty sure undefeated right now, killing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got Cornell over Penn, easy lock. And then my upset is going to be my girls over in Maryland taking down Temple.
Whew. All right, that's nice. All right, man. So this is what I have for my locks for this week. Taking it out to Clemson. Clemson going up to North Carolina State. I look for Clemson to win that one. Tennessee is taking on South Carolina. This is going to be the game that prelims the Southeastern Rugby Conference Championships playoffs. And that is, I look for South Carolina to take this one. It's at home. Even though Tennessee's a beast team, South Carolina has had their number the last year. So look for South Carolina to take that one. In the women's side, I have American International College going to Penn State. Penn State's going to win that one with ease, even though AIC has done really well this year. But, I give that one to Penn State. And then Army women are at Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac I have them winning that one. Even though Army is really good, they came out for a win last week, but I think Quinnipiac has this one in the bag. For my upsets for the men, I have Iona going to Penn State. Iona is like coming up from behind in D1A. They beat Army last week 43-26. Look for them to take down Penn State as well. It looks like they are getting hyped for that one. And then in women, my other super rivalry, all right, Lindenwood at Life University. Between Tennessee and South Carolina and Lindenwood and Life University, I wish I could be at any one of those games just to watch it. I really wish I could be at any one of those games because that game looks so like it's going to be real. I wish I could be there recording it. Unfortunately, cannot. But I have Life University as the underdogs winning this one over Lindenwood in a super close match. Home team getting the favor on that.
Nice.
Dude. So we'll see what happens. Dude, final thoughts for today.
It's Halloween week. I'm ready to get spooky. I'm ready to go get some candy from the neighborhood. I love Halloween. I might have to go buy a morph suit. I might be Willy Wonka. Just the idea is running through my head. So I'm ready. I hope I'm 20, so I hope they don't turn me away for being too old to trick or treat, but I'm excited.
Hey, look, if they can't see your face, you just had a really high growth spurt at a young age. Boom. Believe me. No, man. Dude, it's same here. Halloween. I'm just ready to. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get wild. It's ready to take advantage of. I can't take advantage of Horrorween, but I can take advantage of Halloween. And I want to be able to at least I still have to figure out my costume, so I don't know what I'm going to end up doing for that.
I'm sure you'll have something just fine.
I think it'll work. If not, I can always make up a nice little story behind it and just, go with it. That's a cheap man's way of doing Halloween. That's what it's about. Dude, another great show. Dude, this was show number 7.
Yes.
I mean, it's exciting. I'm happy for it. I'm enjoying the crap out of this. Yo, people, subscribe. Come watch this. We love it. This is life. This is life right here. You guys aren't going to get anything else like it. You guys can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/GiftTimeRugby. On Twitter @GiftTimeRugby. You see our ones there underneath us. Oh, dude. Had to say, great job on the photo contest.
Thank you. That was an absolute blast. So much fun. Congrats to the winner. That was such a cool photo. He's calling the guy out. We have an awesome profile picture. So thank you to everyone that submitted. It was awesome. Cool. It was cool. It was something cool to do.
Oh, man, I'm happy to hear that. Dude, everybody else, you guys enjoy yourself. Look, this is Rugby Sense.
No nonsense.
And we are out!